Awesome. So thank you guys so much for jumping on the call tonight. This is so exciting. I want to tell you guys a little bit of a backstory about our special speakers that are coming on the call tonight. I was in Vancouver at a conference called IC University, and it's an incredible place where you guys can hear amazing testimonies and learn all about the products and all about this incredible business opportunity that we have. And these beautiful people stood up on stage and shared their story. And as I sat in the back row with my team, I could not barely keep it together. I was welling up with tears because of their really powerful, really impactful stories. And so I just want to tell a little bit about Julie and Murray before they get sharing their story. So they are from the same province as me in British Columbia in Canada. And they are from a little town called Victoria. Actually, it's more of a city. And I'm from an island called Salt Spring Island. And we're literally about 30 minutes on a ferry across the way from each other is where we were raised. So we hail from the same area, and it's so exciting that legends like you guys are leading the way in this incredible company with these incredible testimonies. So without further ado, would it be okay if you guys shared your story?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much for having us. We're very grateful and very honored, for sure. So I started Isogenics about 4 years ago. It was in the spring. I had actually reached my lowest low and my highest weight. So I was at 280 pounds, and I was having a hard time just doing simple day-to-day tasks. I was I was just turning 41 years old, and I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea. The doctor told me I was waking up 65 times an hour due to the lack of oxygen through the night. And so we have 3 teenage daughters, and I was having trouble even just driving them to school in the morning without falling asleep behind the wheel. Like literally couldn't wait to get to the next stop sign so I could close my eyes just for a second to make it through the 20-minute round trip drive. I was having trouble walking any distance without agonizing pain in both my feet and legs. I said I had restless leg syndrome, I had high blood sugar, I had high blood pressure, I had plantar fasciitis. I literally was not living the life that I thought that I should be living. I worked hard all my life to provide the best for my house and my family and my children and my parents and my husband, and always left myself last with nothing left for myself. So just everyone was before me. And then at the end of the day, I was worn out even for myself. So I was introduced to Isogenics by my cousin. She struggled with those 10, 15 pounds back and forth, tried every diet in the book, just like myself. She called me up and wanted me to go for a walk, and I said I literally could not go for a walk. I couldn't even walk a distance, even a couple blocks without being in agonizing pain. So I, at that point, said, sure, whatever you're doing, let me give it a try. She's like, you know what, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not happy, then they give you your money back. And literally, I had done so many diets all my life and, lost a couple pounds or didn't lose anything, and then give myself permission to give up because nothing was happening with the programs. And I had researched every program out there, and no one else was going to give me my money back if I didn't get results or I wasn't happy or whatever. So I thought, I have nothing to lose. I'll try this program first. Within the first couple of days, I actually saw improvement in my energy, and I was actually able to get a more restful sleep and wake up feeling a little more refreshed in the morning. A month in, I was able to return my CPAP, my oxygen machine that I was using at nighttime. I had lost 20 pounds, and the doctor was like, you know what, you can try without it, but you know how bad you felt before you started. So if you need to go back on it, you go back on it. But I didn't want to commit to it. I was like living a nightmare wearing that machine at nighttime, and I didn't want to have that living nightmare for the rest of my life. And they told me I was a severe case and I would have to be on that machine the rest of my life. So, but I wasn't willing to accept that life sentence as far as I was concerned. So losing the 20 pounds was the push that made me motivate to keep going, seeing those results, not only in the scale, but huge in my energy and just being more alert, more focused, able to talk my girls in at night and have a conversation with them without falling asleep. And then, I continued to go on. I was about 60 pounds down, and I heard that Isogenics has a 100-pound club, and I thought, wow, that sounds pretty cool. Is it possible that I could lose 100 pounds? I never started the program thinking I wanted to lose 100 pounds. I just needed to feel better. But I was feeling great, and I was able to do things already that I didn't think I could possibly do. And so I said, I'm going to set a goal to lose 100 pounds. It was October, and so I knew going through the Christmas season, it was going to be tough, and I was going to need the extra motivation and support and a new goal really to get me through the season and still have results. So I set a reverse resolution and said I wanted to lose 100 pounds before January 1st. And I also started a program called the Isabody Challenge, which is a program that Isagenix offers as well. And I didn't know about the program so much in the beginning, but being involved in the different groups and communities, I started to hear about this program. I thought, you know, it was a no-brainer. If I was using the products, might as well get reimbursed for the products. And so that was my goal really. And I found once I got into the Isagenix Isabody community, there was a huge new level of motivation in that group, from everyone from people who had lost 100 pounds to people who were trying to lose 100 pounds, from fitness figure, people who were just trying to maintain. Like, there was a whole array of this community that were all supporting each other on the same level. So I thought, I'm going to do this Isabody challenge. I'm going to aim for 100 pounds by January 1st. And by December 17th, I became a 100-pound club member. So I beat my goal by 2 weeks, and I was 564th member. They're not counting anymore, but so yeah, I was pretty stoked to get that and finish my first Isabody challenge. So yeah, that's kind of, and then we continued to go on. That's about the time that Murray decided to join me. So I'll let him jump in and tell his part of the story up to this point too.
Thanks for having us. I just wanted to say, like, I know there's a lot of out there husbands that kind of don't give them the support they need. And I was one of those guys. I had saw Julie over the years. She tried this, tried that. And, you know, she'd have success for a couple of weeks and it would come back. The weight would always come back. So having that mindset of knowing it's just going to be a quick fix or a quick change, and I never really got into this. I just thought, here we go. I'm the skeptic. I did not believe in any of this. I thought it was another one of these quick fixes and no results, or she'd have limited results and all the weight would come back. So, you know, I said to Julia, like, you know, you go ahead and do this. And in the back of my mind, I had this, okay, here's another thing. It's going to take some money from our account. It's going to cost us all this. She's going to be happy for a while, and then it's all going to come back. And then what I began to see is those changes that Julie described. She described her energy level increasing, her body weight slowly dropping. So I kind of had this in the back of my mind. Well, if she's going to start something, a healthy program, I'm going to just start heading back to the gym myself and see what I can do on my own. So in that time that it took Julie to lose 100 pounds, I'd actually lost 30 on my own. But because we were coming into that holiday season, I put all of that weight back on over the Christmas holidays, eating, Thanksgiving, everything. And I put it all back on. And then one morning I got up, was in the kitchen, and I'm like, I opened the cupboard and there's all these canisters of shakes in there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to give one a go. And lo and behold, Julie comes thundering down the stairs. She's like, are you drinking my shakes? And I'm like, no. She goes, mister, if you're drinking my shakes, you need to get your own damn account, and let's get you enrolled in an Isabody challenge. So she got me enrolled that afternoon. I placed my first order, and subsequently I lost that 30 pounds actually in the first 9 weeks of that. And I've managed to maintain that and lose an additional 40 pounds for a total of 70 pounds. And I've maintained that weight loss. And I was basically named an Isabody finalist through the challenge. So I got a couple of perks and some rewards from that. So that's, in my mind, you know, I'm getting rewarded for just looking after my health.
Yeah, and yeah, we continue to do the Isabody challenges. We always set new goals every challenge. I'm on my 13th Isabody challenge, and Murray's on number
12. Yeah.
So yeah, I went on, you know, again and set challenges, you know, whether it was to lose 100 pounds the first one, and then it was to run 10K, and then I did a hot yoga challenge, and then it was to do a fitness figure competition. So I got up on the stage and did my first fitness figure competition, and then it was a goal to lose half of my original body weight. So starting at 280 pounds, I thought, is it possible that I can say that I've lost 144 pounds? And yeah, I reached that goal. My final goal weight, I actually was 143, so I lost 145 pounds in total.
Oh my gosh, like this is just like, Kate, we gotta stop for half second.
That's a lot.
You guys, are you guys listening to this? Like my jaw is like literally, I can't stop smiling. My jaw's on the floor. Like this is so powerful. It is so powerful. Julie, like you've set these goals for yourself and you didn't even know if you could attain them. And you not only surpassed your goal, and you too, Murray, like you guys both, you're like, oh, I'll lose 30 pounds and then I'll just lose another 40. Like this is powerful. I'm so stoked. So I don't want to just keep going.
Yeah. Well, again, I think, you know, a huge part of it is the community. You know, Isagenix has all the products that are scientifically proven to work. And there's all kinds of programs out there that have products that are scientifically proven to work. But it's finding the products and the program and the support that works. And that was the key to our success, is that I was never a person to set goals for myself. I was never a person to, you know, to look towards the future. It was living day in and day out, surviving day in and day out, busy mom, busy wife, busy running a business for our family. And yeah, like it was just day after day after day. And then all of a sudden I saw this huge possibilities, all the possibilities. And, you know, no one would say no. Like, you know, everybody I talked to, everyone I reached out to, everyone I connected with was like, yeah, why not? Give it a try. Like, there's no reason why you can't. Or they wouldn't give me an answer. I'd be like, can I lose half my body weight? Is that even a possibility? And nobody said you couldn't. They all said, go for it. And so that was where the inspiration came. And yeah, just, you know, the products were easy. It was simple. It fit into my busy, you know, schedule. It was convenient. It was more convenient and more cost effective than living off of sugary, fatty drinks and breakfast sandwiches when I had left myself with nothing, and all of us started starving and not knowing when I was even full at that point when I'd start eating. So just, you know, I knew how to eat healthy, but I'd gotten into a lot of bad habits and got to the point where I couldn't get myself out of those habits and feel good at the same time, where these products did that for me. And then the support in the community was what changed my mindset and made me strive for the next level. So I continue to strive for the next level. It's, you know, like, yeah, whatever that's going to be, there's something always to strive for. So
that's incredible. And Murray, for you, like, what was the biggest thing for you to be able to achieve that? Was it watching Julie, or was it more something else that kind of like hit you on another level?
I think what happened was probably my first 6 challenges I did, I really didn't have a goal. And I think the big thing for me was to just kind of be a little bit healthy, right? And so subsequently, when Julie said, like, look, I lost 100 pounds and they're going to recognize me and they're going to walk me across stage at this big event in Las Vegas, I'm like, woohoo, I'm going to Vegas. Let's go check this out. And I really had no clue what the Isagenix community was about. Like, you have to remember, during Julie's journey, she was on her own, because like I said before, she had tried and done all of these other programs before, and, you know, really never had the success. And then when she started to have the successes, I was like, wow, this is actually working. Like, oh my God. And then when we went to Las Vegas, that to me was the takeaway, is attending that event and seeing her walk across that stage and being so proud of her accomplishment. I'm like, what am I missing out on? Like, I gotta do something. And I put it out there. I said, I'm going to walk on that Isabody stage. And 2 years,
I know, I'm feeling it too. You're starting to talk, you're doing it again, really. I mean, as soon as we did this on stage in Vancouver, I was like, don't you go there. And I'm like, he's doing it. I'm going to cry too.
But
seriously, you guys are just like, oh my goodness, you guys are, it's so powerful.
We have a mutual friend, and when I got the phone call from Isogenics naming me a finalist, she said, Murray, you put it out to the universe, and the universe answered back. But it did, but I put in a hell of a lot of work as well to get there. I don't think I would have had the success if it wasn't for Julie's lead and the community of support. I cannot honestly say that this was a success all on my own. It was a community effort here, because I looked at all of these people in this 100-pound club that had, their stories were like way worse than mine. Like, I mean, there's people in that club that, you know, they've lost 200 pounds and they probably still had another 200 to go. And I'm like, you know, if it's weight that's in the way, I'm like, what's my excuse? It doesn't even hold a candle to half these people that are in there. And I'm like, if they can lose 200 pounds, I mean, what is freaking another 40 for me? And then I just decided, like, I needed to change, just go for it. And so I started to work a little bit harder. I started to, you know, regiment what I eat, become more conscious of what I was putting in my mouth. And you know what? I lost a few friends along the way. I'll be honest. It was just one of those things as a part of growth. I was tired of having all of these negative people around me. I'm a car guy. So I had a lot of car guys come into my house. I had a street rod. They'd come and hang out in my garage. We'd drink a bunch of beer. Next thing you know, the barbecue was getting fired up at 1 a.m. and the whiskey would come out. And not that I had a drinking problem, but those were the friends that I was associating with. And I'm still a car guy. I maybe have one of those friends, but not all of them, because now they're envious of the change that I've gone through, and they see me living a better life, and they're still stuck in that rut. And I keep offering to reach out and give them the support and help that they need, but they're not willing to accept that. And I'm more of a helper now because of Isogenics and the community, because I didn't support Julie when she needed support the most. And this now has turned to me to give back and give the support that people need.
That's amazing. Like, oh, I just love this call. The vibes are so good. Okay, so I have been taking notes along the way, and I've just written down some key words. And what I want, like at the end of this call, you guys, just so you know, we're going to open the floor up for some questions, and we're 20 minutes in, so we got tons of time. But there were some key things that I wrote down, which was obviously like your results. That was a big one. The support that you had with the community, the goals that you set, the events that you went to see what was really possible, the spiritual side of things, and then when you made a decision, as well as a positive environment. So those are really powerful pillars in, you know, anyone's journey, especially like, you know, even in my own, like people will say to me, you know, Trina, like, what's your favorite part of Isogenics? And I say, well, hands down, the community. The products are like, nothing can hold a candle to our products. I mean, like, really. I mean, it's just like, you're going to get results. You just have to put them in your mouth and, you know, like, follow the system. It's so easy, but that part is easy. It's the application of it into the lifestyle. So how has this changed your lifestyle? You know, from like, I mean, Murray, you went into it a little bit, but maybe Julie, you could touch on this. Is how has it really changed your lifestyle for your family, for yourself, how you show up, you know, in hosting people in your home? I know I watch your Facebook page, so does my mom. We love your recipes.
Well, I mean, our life is changed 180%. We are not the same people we were 4 years ago, Murray 4 years ago. We are completely changed. Our family, again, was just surviving day in and day out. There wasn't a lot of motivation. There wasn't a lot of positive. It was like, I'm tired. you know, like I'm worn out and
we're driving kids to activities all the time. So it was a lot of eating on the go and, you know, fast recipes, something, you know, we keep talking about our grocery bill. Like, you know, we, as a family of 5, we'd go to Costco and we'd spend $1,200 a month at Costco. And now we're lucky to spend 400 of that at Costco. Yeah, we might spend $300 or $400 a month with Isagenix, but we know what we're getting from those products.
yeah, and our 3 daughters, they, you know, they use the products they have for really over the last for sure over the last 3 years, 4 years, some of them. And yeah, like a shake every morning, and then they love right now, well, one takes a shake for lunch and the others take the bars for lunch, a bar with you know, some nuts and mix and stuff. But yeah, like it's been a process, and I say that like this didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen over a year. Like I lost a lot of weight in the first year. I lost 130 pounds, but then I spent a year of catching up to that loss, right? I actually dropped 4 sizes and didn't lose any weight the second year. So like I went from a size 8 to like a size 4. Crazy size difference.
No, it was a 24 to a 4.
No, like, but I got into a size 8, losing 130 pounds. So I was a 24. I went to a size 8.
Yeah.
And then just the inches really changed where the scale didn't. But I gave myself permission to be okay. Like you know, it's okay. I need to fit this body, and I need to make sure this is going to be permanent. I'm not interested in seeing 100 pounds weight come back on. I need to make this lifestyle. So, you know, like things that you used to find in our cupboard, you don't find in our cupboard. You won't even find my grocery cart anymore. You know, like there was regular, you know, and you forget. It's been a transition in our house for sure. I say it's been a process in progress. It didn't happen right away. And it's still like, I still love to bake, but I now know how. I'm now learning and using the Isagenix products to bake. And if there is something that my family wants, I actually go to Google. Google is your best friend. And I've talked to many people in the Isagenix community, and I've had coaches in the Isagenix community and stuff, and they say Google is your best coach. Really is, because if there is something that my family wants, or if there's something that I want, I Google healthy pizza, healthy lasagna, vegetable lasagna, or whatever it is, a protein cake, protein cookies, protein, and I do it. Like I take it and I know what products I like to use and what ingredients I care to put into my body and my family's body now, and I just incorporate that, and it works. So you know, like those have all been a progress for sure, because
that's awesome. Yeah, that's incredible. And so like when you're talking about making these healthy changes, you know, how much was it for, like what happened to you when you really recognized about the quality of the food that you were putting in your body before versus the quality of the food that you're putting in your body now? So a lot of people, you know, they'll say something like, oh, you know, I just want to lose weight. And I'm like, okay, but do you know why you have excess weight? Do you know why that is happening in your body? Do you actually understand like the side of the science part of why our bodies are it's actually our bodies when we're gaining weight are in massive depletion, which is a total oxymoron for most people. They don't realize the reason why they're gaining weight is because their body is actually being starved of nutrition. So when was that sort of like, when did you really realize that the nutritional aspect and how important that was in the lifestyle that we're living?
About year 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was, Isagenix makes it really simple that you don't have to think about it too much. But yeah, like year 1, the weight literally, I describe it as the weight literally fell off of me. Like I didn't do a lot different, and I still enjoyed the odd drink now and then, and I still I followed the system. I kept my meal simple, my snack simple, and the weight literally fell off. And the second year, I continued to use the same system, and I continued to see results just in inches. So, and then I think it was like at 130 pounds lost and the inches lost, I'm like, okay, like I need to switch something up. I want to take this to the next level. And that's when I was like, I want to say I lost half of my original body weight, but you know, the basic system wasn't what my body needed anymore. I wasn't obese anymore. I was lean, and now I wanted to tone and figure things out. So, you know, like I think I learned some of the basics over those first 2 years, but then I really started to look at like macronutrients, and I learned, like, you know, like if you do the same, you stay the same. So it was like, what do we do to take to the next level? So we got educated in macronutrients and what that meant. And we looked at, you know, watching our portions a little more closely, just fine tuning things, really. And the more we fine tune things, the more our body responded. And so that was a learning process. And yeah, like I can look at anything now and tell you what the calories are and how much it weighs just by looking at it. But
Wow.
I couldn't have done that 4 years ago.
Mm.
There's no clue. I never counted calories up to like before isogenics. I never tracked my food before isogenics. And did I track my food in the beginning? No. But a couple months in, I was like, yeah, I need to keep an eye on what I'm actually putting in my mouth, because things might have started to slow down, or I might have felt like I was plateauing. And if I ever felt that way, I looked for the next level. I took it and I switched it up.
That's really important. That is really important, because most people don't realize that when you're starting out, like say you're 200 and some pounds, or you're 400 pounds, or whatever you are, there's a certain amount of energy that's needed to be able to fuel your body. And most people don't realize this, is that over their weight loss journey, their macros for the day, which is pretty much like what your body is burning to stay alive, that's your macronutrients that you need to fill, right? For people that don't know what a macro is. And so as you're losing weight, those macronutrients will change. So say maybe you needed 1,800 calories when you were 195 pounds to be able to even just function your body just burning naturally. But maybe you're 140 pounds now, maybe you need 1,400 calories. So you may be still feeling like maybe you don't need that, you know, extra portion of this or extra heaping thing of that at dinner time. Like, and that's one thing I've noticed too, is portion control was such a big issue for me, because we were always taught to clean our plates at the, you know, growing up. I know a lot of people were like that. That was just the way most people were. You put the food on your plate, you clean it, or you're not leaving the table. Like, that's the way I was raised. And so it teaches you to end up overeating. And what I found about this system is it really helps to rebalance, you know, what you're putting in your mouth, and actually get you mindful about it. And I think that's really cool that for the first year you weren't doing that and you still had incredible results. So
yeah. I mean, I really stuck to what Isogenics recommended. And, you know, like I wasn't necessarily a couch potato. So 1,200 calories seemed daunting at first, because I'm like, that's not, I don't know if that's enough for me. But I trusted the system.
Yeah.
And it's huge, because, you know, 13, 14, 1,200 calories is a lot. When you say that and you send someone out without any products to back it, it's asking for disaster.
Yeah,
but
that's
because
right.
they had the products to fill 2 of those really important meals of the day, and then gave me really clear guidelines on what my snacks and my meal looked like, I stuck to those 1,400 calories very easily and felt very satisfied. But to go off and try to do that on just food itself,
yeah,
I'd done that. I'd starved myself, and didn't get results. And that's what, you know, like I was the first to tell you, is that I can't live off 1,200 calories, because I feel crappy now, and I'm going to feel even crappy not giving my body any energy. So yeah.
That's really important too to mention, is that the calories are not really, like, a lot of people think it's calories in, calories out. It is if you don't have a clue of what your calorie nutrients is. And so, like, you can have a bag of potato chips and you can also have a huge sweet potato, and the calories are the exact same. You're going to feel completely non-satiated eating those potato chips, but you're going to feel really full eating that sweet potato, you know. And that's the thing that Isogenics is so cool about, is it's like a banquet table full of food all crammed into one shake, right? Like, you know, it's incredible if you actually look at like what goes into our products, and it's so dense in nutrients that we actually fall almost off the chart of who cares about calories, because we're getting so much nutrients in one meal for 240 calories, you know? So I always tell people like go on how you feel, like see how you feel when you put the products in your body and let your body decide.
Well, I can tell you firsthand, like the minute that you start getting the energy back, like for me, I weight train. I weight train on a daily basis. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm actually having a pre-workout meal prior to going to the gym. So I'll have like a half a cup of oats. And that's going to give me the carbs that I need to fuel my workout. So when you're on a 1,300 calorie diet, that might not necessarily work for everybody.
That's right.
In my instance, is I have to have the extra meals. So I have to plan my day out of what meals I will be eating at certain points of the day. Like I will leave the gym, I'll come home and I'll have a post-workout meal, and it'll be an Isopro shake. I'll have another half cup of oats with some egg whites, and that'll be, you know, meal number 2 for the day. And then 2.5 hours later, I'll have an Isopro shake. And that's enough to sustain me until it's like, you know, 1 o'clock roughly. And then I'll have a lunch, but the lunch will be like a lean source of protein. And then, you know, mid-afternoon, I might have a bar, but then I know when I come home that Julie's made like, well, chicken breast and salad, or, you know, it might be Mexican night or something like that.
Yeah.
But I know that the calories I'm going to get at home are not going to be something that it's going to set me out of whack, and that all the work that I've done in the gym, you know, I'm still trying to build muscle too. But I'm trying to build lean muscle rather than.
And yeah, his diet, like that's not what he did when he lost the 70 pounds.
No.
Right? But you know, again, we've learned, and he's now working at building muscle, and then he's going to get lean before he goes on stage in Montreal.
That's crazy. So what did you do before you did that plan? Like, did you just follow the 2 shakes a day and then the 400 to 600 calorie meal?
Yeah, I think too is I was a little more liberal on the 400 to 600 calories. I was probably eating around 700 calories at dinner time, but I was still having like 200 calorie snacks, you know, where Julie would have a half a bar for a snack. I'd have a full bar, and then I'd have to have another snack after another shake as well. So, you know, it would be 2 shakes for sure, probably 2 bars out of the day. And I would supplement that if I felt like I needed something extra. It might be veggies like cauliflower or broccoli. But I know that my dinner at home, that was going to be the meal that was, you know, kind of the knife and fork, so to speak.
Yeah, I get you. I was the same way. When I got started, I would do my 1 shake in the morning. I didn't really have snacks because I wasn't really hungry. Like I was in a hot climate. So, you know, when it's hot, you're not really like super hungry. And then at lunchtime, I'd have another shake, and then I would just eat a regular meal for dinner. I didn't even measure it. I just would eat chicken and potatoes, like roast chicken, potatoes and carrots or something. And then that was all I wanted. And if I needed dessert, I'd have a nice delight afterwards, and that was it. And that's what I did for, you know, and in a whole year, I still do that. I don't really measure, but now, I mean, like when you're getting into a place when you're wanting to get really ripped and really leaned out, then like you said, you can change it up and really supplement it, especially because what was your training like at that time, Murray, like in the beginning to where you're at now?
I think I was probably lifting weights, probably in a higher rep range with a lighter weight, whereas now as I'm in a lower rep range with higher weight. So the other thing too, I was doing a lot of cardiovascular. Like I'm talking, you know, 3-4 times a week, at least an hour on the treadmill. You know, so, but that was part of my routine. And what happened was, because I had the energy, it wasn't a big deal. Like to get on the treadmill and go for an hour, I'd show Julie, I'd have goosebumps running down my arms and my legs, and it would be like I'd get what they call a runner's high from being on the treadmill, and it would just basically keep me going. And so cardio wasn't a big deal, but I implemented weight training and cardio as part of the program. And I kept doing that. And then I started to see some muscle, and then that's when I really wanted to step up the game. And
That's so awesome. I just love it. You know, I started to get ripped, and then I was like, okay, game on. That's so cool. And were you guys using like pre-workouts or the Recover? Like, what was your gym regimen, and like how quick did you have that protein shake in your body after you worked out and that kind of thing?
So for me, I used to use another supplement company's pre-workout. And what I found is that I would have like, you know, 1 scoop or 2 scoops, and it had so much, I want to say garbage in it, and so caffeinated that it would actually give me anxiety. And so I having high blood pressure at the time when I started to lose the weight, the doctor recommended it wasn't a good thing for me. So over a period of time, Isagenix had just come out with their Nitro, and I figured I'd give that a try. And I used to use 2 heaping scoops of this old pre-workout. And yeah, it would get me kind of like motivated to move. But then I would crash really hard after. And so when I tried Nitro for the first time, I thought, oh, we'll give 1 scoop, and did my workout. And I thought, oh, that wasn't too bad. I'm going to give it 2 scoops the next time. And I figured, well, you know what? I'm going to try one of these e-shots with it. So I had 2 scoops and an e-shot, and I didn't sleep for 48 hours. So it had that effect. It was that powerful.
Oh my goodness. That is awesome.
I'm a 1 scoop in the morning. That's all I need. I think it's more than anybody needs. It's like having, I like to say, about a cup of black coffee pre-workout, so to speak. So, but then workout, as soon as I'm home from the gym, so about an hour after my workout, I work out for an hour, and then I'll get home and I'll have that shake right away, just to get those nutrients back in me right away. Because I usually will do my workouts somewhat fasted, other than the little bit of oats that I have into on those big strength days.
That's cool. That's awesome. So I know that there's a bunch of people that have some questions, I'm sure. I just got a text in from one person that just asked, like, your cleanse days. Now, what exactly did your cleanse days look like? Were you guys doing double cleanse days? Were you doing a single every week? Were you doing 2 and then a 1 off and then 2? How did that look for you, Julie?
Yeah. So yeah, when I first started, I had never done any cleansing. And so I was like, I don't know about this cleansing thing. Like I've heard, you know, like family members who do these cayenne pepper.
Oh no.
And I just watch them and go, there's just no way. And so it was a little daunting at first. But I said, you know what, like I'll do it. And it's a huge mindset. And so I just put my head around it, and I saw thousands of other people do it. And I just went in and I did an hourly schedule where I took something every hour from 8 in the morning till 8 at night. And I was like, that wasn't that bad. And so I did that for the first month. First 2 months I did one cleanse a week. And then I was like, hey, people are talking about these 2-day cleanses, and I'm going to give it a try. And yeah, I did it, and I loved them. If people have more than 100 pounds to lose, there is an Isagenix group it's a very private group that I can add people to, but you have to be a member to add people to it, and then they have to approve it, and you have to prove that you have 100 pounds to lose. So there's all kinds of information in that group, and what is recommended in that group, not necessarily by Isagenix, is that you do double cleansing until you get close to your goal weight, especially when you have a big weight loss. So I did double cleanses, and I started to really listen to my body. So I did double cleanses every week, and unless I felt worn out or had too much going on or just felt overwhelmed, I would take a week off. But otherwise I did double cleansing right through for the first 1.5 years anyways. And then now I cleanse whenever I feel like it's necessary. I cleansed last week. It was good. I just did 1-day cleanse. I'm now, more into strength training and stuff like that. So I feel that the cleansing really affects my strength. And it's just where my body is. And I'm so in tune with my body. So my doctor laughs at me because he's like, I say, well, this, you know, this is what I'm experiencing. He's like, you know what, most people don't even notice that. And because you're so in tune with your body and how it reacts, he's like, you're like a Ferrari. I'm like, my doctor's calling me a Ferrari. Oh, that's great. But I am, like, I really have, and again, that's been a progress. And I know how my body reacts to certain foods and how I'm going to feel after certain foods. And I know with cleansing how I feel and how I react. And so, yeah, now I'm just really in tune with my body. So yeah, but I love double cleansing. I have, unbelievable energy, all the time. And sometimes I got to the point where the double cleansing was, I was too much energy. I couldn't, it was almost.
She had to cut it back.
It was uncontrollable energy. Someone complained that they've got too much energy. Yeah, I did. Because like I'd run 10K, I'd do the gym, and I still couldn't sit still at night. So I got to where it's like, you know, it's my body's saying that it's just maybe too much. So.
Wow, that's amazing. So let's open it up. Does anybody have any questions that anybody wants to ask Julie or Murray? If you're shy and that's, you know, something that you're a little nervous to do, just put it in the chat below and I can always read those out. I'm just going to stop sharing here because I can't see the chat window while I've got my share screen on. But if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask any questions, just feel free to do that.
I'm just going to add, so probably my first 2 years of Isogenics, I wasn't a regular cleanser. And I think I probably would have had better results in those first 2 years if I was a regular cleanser. Because what I've found now over the years, like Julie said, she's beginning to see the energy that she was getting because of the cleanse. And I kind of feel that same way. I mean, my goals are a little bit different now. So I would cleanse maybe once a month, but I would at least cleanse. And it wasn't until about a year ago that one of my, another guy within Isogenics, my friend Owen, he hashtags himself the twofer because he constantly does the 2-day cleanses. And he's like, haven't you ever done a twofer? And I'm like, what the hell's a twofer? He cleanse 2 days back to back. And I'm like, I don't even know if I want to try that. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a try and see how I feel. And what I found is the day one, I kind of always struggled a little bit with. And what I mean by that is I would have to write it down. I'd like have a little post-it note and I'd mark, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And then I put in my cleanse, my tablets or my chocolate, my Ice of Delight. And I would just kind of write that all down and I would just kind of cross that off as I went. And that seemed to get me through the day. And then when I tried the 2-day cleanse, I was like, oh, this is a piece of cake. 2-day cleanse, and now I got all this energy. This is insane. So I kind of started getting addicted a little bit to the 2-day cleanse. So I decided I'd do a little experiment and see how much weight I actually would lose in a 2-day cleanse. And what I found is, for me, I lost on a 2-day cleanse, on average, I lose about 9 pounds in 2 days. Okay. But what will happen is I'll regain about 3 to 4 pounds of whether it be water weight or everything's coming back in because I'm reintroducing, foods and everything like that. So 3 to 4 would come back on. So for a 2-day average of about 6 pounds, that's not too bad. When you add that up over the course of a 52-week year, multiply that by 6 pounds, that's a lot of weight.
Nuts.
Crazy.
Nuts. I know there's people on this call that know that that's true because
I didn't do that for 52 weeks.
I know.
I did a 2-day cleanse, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month.
Yeah.
But that's only because I have different goals.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's so important.
Strictly weight loss. then I would be cleansing once a week for sure.
You know, this is so important. Like, most people get so stinking discouraged when they don't lose the weight on the scale that they expect to, or whatever, in a certain amount of time. And it's so hard for people because they are comparing their value to a number, which is really sad. And I want to show you something really quick here, which you guys touched on today. Take a look at, I don't know if you guys can see this. Look at the difference between this girl, okay? It says disc scales. There's not a huge amount of difference, right? But look at the difference in the weight. She gained weight. She went from 68 kilos to 72, and she's 72 kilos here.
Yeah.
That is muscle, you guys. And that's one thing that you guys touched on earlier is that do not let the scale determine your value. Because I know there's people on the call here that have actually almost quit doing this system because they didn't see the scale move. And this is so detrimental to a lot of people in their success, because they think that they need to be a certain size. You might have been a size, 150 pounds in high school and been a lot, bigger than you're at 180 pounds now, but you fit into the same pair of jeans, but it just depends on muscle density, right? So is there any other questions out there that people wanted to ask or touch on?
Guys, don't be shy. We don't bite.
Not hard.
Don't be afraid to ask the questions, because I was one of those people that was sitting in the background for too long. And, I had all these questions, and then what I try to do is, secretly go and read the label on what in there. There's got to be some magic ingredient in there and whatnot. So it's just been a process of educating myself on the products. And then, like Julie said, when their doctor calls her a Ferrari because she's so in tune with every little increment of her being, it's just, I'm kind of getting to the same way. Like, I know that if I go into the gym without if I have a lack of energy, everybody has those good days and bad days. And, sometimes that scale could be our worst enemy, as you brought up. You could be you may weigh more, but you may have more muscle mass. I think there's a few posts that are online that you see a lady holding a big thing. It's yellow and it says, "This is what 5 pounds of fat looks like." And then they have this little piece of steak that says, "And this is 2 pounds of muscle." Well, when you lose that fat, that muscle's going to show up. People will say to me, "Oh, well, that's great, but your system's for weight loss, and all I want to do is get toned." Well, the only way that you can get toned is by losing all the fat around the muscle. So the muscle's already there. We just need to lose the fat. You may not necessarily need to lose weight, but it's to lose or burn that fat that's around the muscle. And then when the muscle pops, that's when you see the tone. Oh, you're muted.
Erin Kent just said, thank you guys so much, that she doesn't have any questions because you guys have covered so many different things, and I think that's awesome. But is there anyone else that wants to ask any questions? No? I guess we covered it all. That's good. What I wanted to here's one that kids are going off here, so she's not going to unmute. Okay, so I wanted to ask for some people that aren't on the call tonight that were looking for some motivation. A lot of people that have maybe been struggling with a cleanse or struggling to keep on track with the products, or maybe they just feel that I don't know. I think a lot of it is mindset issues. Maybe people feeling they're not worth it, or that they don't deserve to get good results, or something like that, like self-worth or self-value. Have you guys ever gone through, like a low point in the journey where you wanted to quit, or, to maybe speak into that a little bit of people that are struggling to even just stick to a week, or, without having cheat days or whatever? Like, what could you say to people that are kind of really stuck, or anything like that?
Well, I guess for the two of us now, what it's boiled down to be is planning. Like today's a Sunday. It's 8 o'clock in Alberta. or sorry, 9 o'clock in Alberta, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock out here on the West Coast. But this afternoon, Julie and I meal prepped, right? So we planned our meals out for the rest of the week. So I have meals that I can go to if I'm feeling hungry. I can open the fridge and just grab a meal out of there and eat a meal. And if I'm not wanting that to eat a meal, I can grab a shake. Our cupboards are literally have shakes, snacks, isogenics like Whey Thins, Harvest Thins, bars. We always have snacks in the house, but those snack choices that we make are healthy, right? Julie said she loves to bake. Well, I know if I go pull a muffin out of the fridge or out of the cupboard, I know that it's got at least probably 12 or 15 grams of protein. It probably has low carb, and it's probably got more fiber than what I truly need. But for the most part, it's planning. It's planning, having that stuff on hand, because when our cupboards were full of potato chips and popcorn and stuff like that, just the garbage food, nacho chips and cheese, and those were the go-to. So when you felt like having a snack and you sit down and eat something like that, they were just a bunch of empty calories that they'd fill you up temporarily, and then you'd feel like garbage after. Whereas I know I can pull out a package of Whey Thins and still get that potato chip kind of crunch that you need, and know that once the bag's done, I don't have to worry about what I just consumed.
Yeah. So really planning and preparing. And Julie, what about like the mental aspect of things?
Yeah. Well, I got to my worstest worst because I took care of everyone else and didn't leave anything for myself. So as I think back to as a young girl thinking, I want to have this beautiful house, and I want to have a husband, and I want to have wonderful kids, and I want to have the holidays. Well, I had all of that, but I couldn't enjoy it, and I no longer could support those people that I'd worked so hard to be the best, because I left myself last. And so now those people who were around me, like my children and my husband and my parents, were all concerned that they might not have a mother, a daughter, a wife, because I literally was putting my health at risk and couldn't support them anymore. I couldn't tuck my teenage daughters in at night and hear what happened during their day without, literally would fall asleep talking, mumbling to them. And I thought, what have I worked all my life for? To be at this point where I have everything, and now I don't have myself. I don't have my health, and I can't enjoy all my labor to create the life that I wanted to create. And if I'm not there to support my family and my friends and my husband and my parents, then what good am I?
Yeah, that's so important, is that I think a lot of people, they'll put everything else like on the back burner for themselves, but they'll put everybody else's needs first. But what's actually needing to happen is, like you're saying, you need to actually switch. You can't put them first if you're not putting yourself first.
No, exactly.
It's not a possibility. And
I think too, for both, I'll speak on behalf of both of us. It's because we've created this household that we both dreamed of having. We wanted to have kids, we wanted to have a nice house, and be able to travel with our family. And it's that mindset. We worked so hard, but we got lost in the day-to-day, and we're caught up in the negativity by having a negative mindset. By changing our mindset to one of positivity, not only has it changed Julie and I, it's also created this ripple effect through our house. Yeah. And our kids are more positive. They're more outgoing. Like, they get up at the crack of dawn before school to go to the gym with their mom, because they look at their mom as their hero. Wow. Their mom is their motivator, right? And you know what? Their friends come over and visit, and they'll walk away and be like, "Man, your dad looks so fit. Man, your mom, she's kind of hot." Hey,
that's so cool.
that's the feedback. And, you know, the Marchaks are known as the fit parents. And, you know, we go to a soccer field or a baseball game and we'll see other parents that saw us when we were at our worst. And they'll look at you in a different sense, whether it's envy or what, but they could have that change too. They just have to have the mindset to change.
That's so
and
good.
and that's what's happened to us. She had the mindset to change, and I just followed on her coattails.
And the mindset will come. Like, you don't believe it is, but it is 100% connected to this nutrition. So you put this stuff in your body, you do it day in and day out, and eventually there'll be a switch that flips. And we have experienced it firsthand. I talked to my parents who are in their 70s, and they're experiencing it firsthand. We have a good friend that is with us. He's now lost 120 pounds, and
Wow.
you know, he's had a huge, and like he said, no, I won't only stick with these products for the nutrition. I will stick for it for my mental health.
That's
Because
so
it
good.
has improved his mental health. He's no longer living that dreary nightmare, and he's feeling positive and looking positive and feeling good just because of this nutrition.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then just to add for all the guys that are out there that are maybe listening to this call too, guys, don't be afraid. There's groups out there. Owen and I created a group for men that need support as well, that maybe not have a significant other. The group is called Isabody. Just reach out to us. There's all kinds of information in the group. It's a place where guys can be guys. You know, there's guys will post some workout videos, or the Flex Friday is pretty common. You know, we have a couple of challenges within, but it's just a guys group, just somewhere that guys can come and be guys. You know, we had a few guys ask about cars, and, you know, it's just a place where guys can be guys. We don't have to look through all the pansies and the print and the Pinterest posts and the recipes. You know, guys want to get information. They can learn some workouts and, hey, what products are you using? Or maybe they post their before pictures because they're too afraid to show them on their personal site, at least this way, because we've all been there. All of us have started somewhere. So, but it's just a place where guys can go for support.
That is so great. And, you know, I'm so glad you touched on that, because I have a couple guys in my team, and most of the people on our team is very female driven. It's a very female driven industry because there's a lot of girls that are trying to live up to that ideal body type and all that kind of stuff. But I really wanted an incredible place for the guys to go, to be able, like you said, to not have all the, you know, flowery and, you know, filtery kind of crap that's on the walls, and they're, you know, sharing recipes, and they're like, I couldn't care less. I just want to get buff and flex my muscles. So
that's right.
I just think that's so awesome. So is it cool? Like, I've got guys on my team. I'd love to connect them.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just the guys, ISA Guys group. It's on Facebook.
Okay.
We have an Instagram as well. So yeah, but send them our way. We'll help them out. If they have questions, I'll be happy. Oh, everybody's in there. They're always offering help. We have guys that are from all over the United States, Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom. They're all over. We started this group with, I think there was 12 guys originally. There's 890 of us
Whoa.
now. And that's
Holy
within
moly.
1 year. 1 year.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to find you guys right now, but on Facebook. I'm going to find that. So I know that we're at the 9 o'clock mark here, and so I'm going to have to wrap the call up, but I could talk to you guys like all night. This has just been such a pleasure. And, you know, I'm just so grateful for your testimony, your story. It has not only impacted my heart. I know it's impacted hundreds of thousands of people out there that have watched your video, Julie, and that are going to watch your video, Murray, when you win the Isabody Challenge this year. And, you know, like, this is so amazing that you guys you've really made, you've really pulled this together full circle of what Isogenics is about. It's about family, it's about community, it's about results, it's about, you know, impacting people, and not only in the health, but in the way that they're living out their family. And you're affecting your community as well. And from that, like that ripple effect is that's what we're all about. Is that we are not meant to live in that mundane life. We're not meant to live feeling sick and overweight and tired and our joints hurting all the time. We are meant to live free, and our bodies do whatever we need them to do without being in pain and being fearful and feeling like we don't have a community of people that care for us. This is exactly what every community needs, everybody needs. And so I'm just so grateful for you guys and for your time that you spent on the call tonight. And I'm so looking forward to seeing you at Celebration, Murray, on stage. I'll be cheering for you. And yeah. And I'm so grateful that you guys have communicated, not only that community for the guys, but Julie, you've created quite a community yourself. And yeah, so thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having us. And people, don't be afraid to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram. We just want to share the products just like anybody else. And if you have questions or you're a skeptic, change the mindset, change your life.
That's awesome. All right, you guys will have an awesome night, and we will see you again shortly. Okay, take care, everyone.